Man, what a great way to get 2010 off to an awesome start. Um, Mavericks beat the Kings tonight, and my Texas Tech Red Raiders, despite all the controversy of the recent firing of head coach or former head coach, I should say, Mike Leach, won the Alamo Bowl tonight over Michigan State, 41 to 31. And I watched that game a lot more than the Mavs game, but I'm gonna kind of talk about both games a little bit from what I saw. Um, First of all, the Mavs, getting back where they belong, back in the win column, beating the Sacramento Kings. Um, Dirk Nowitzki again, an awesome game, and I also noticed a lot from Jason Kidd. He was very active on defense, and Drew Gooden as well. And Josh Howard helped out. Jet Terry wasn't that big a factor. He was playing better on defense, but his offense didn't quite uh, get going the way it usually does. So. But still, hey, win's a win. We got we got that win. And then tomorrow night, a rematch with the Los Angeles Lakers back at the Staples Center, where we won our first game of the season. And it'd be unheard of if we can beat LA twice in the same building. No, I guess we already beat LA twice. We beat the Lakers and the Clippers, but I'm just referring to the Lakers, of course, because they're back at full strength now. But so are we. So we got the two best teams in the West going at it for a match of Western Conference supremacy, if you will. There's early in the season, and we'll see where we're at. And also the Lakers, they'll see where they're at as well because both these teams are for real. Of course, the Lakers being the world champs, they're the team to beat. But the Mavs are knocking right on their doorstep. So I look forward to tomorrow night's game. Great win tonight, and leading on to Texas Tech. Normally, I know I've been talking about basketball a lot, but as you can see from my name, TTU, dude, that stands for Texas Tech University, and dude, because I'm the dude. Uh, Big Lebowski reference, but anyway. um, Last year we had the greatest football season in the history of Texas Tech football. Um, we kind of ended it on a sour note by losing our bowl game to Ole Miss last year in the Cotton Bowl, and also getting crushed by Oklahoma. Arguably, if we would have beaten Oklahoma, Tech would have played. I think it was Florida. Yeah, they would have played Florida for the national championship instead of Oklahoma. Um, and if we probably didn't have gotten blown out by Oklahoma, we would have probably been a BCS bowl. But that was last year. This is this year. Let's talk about this year. Tech didn't have as good a season as last year as they did this year, as they did last year. But it was still a pretty good one. Obviously, our two big stars last year, Graham Harrell, who I thought should have been a Heisman Trophy candidate, along with the other three guys who were just as worthy. Cole McCoy of Texas, um, of course, you got Sam Bradford of Oklahoma, and Tim Tebow of Florida, who, by the way, has won a Heisman Trophy before. Sam Bradford won that, but they had three invites last year. They had five this year. So anyway, but yeah, Graham Harrell should have been, I think, a candidate at least last year. He probably wouldn't have won it, but still would have been nice to see a Red Raider in New York for that ceremony. So yeah, we didn't have Harrell, and of course Michael Crabtree, who is probably arguably, if not the best Texas Tech football player of all time, the best wide receiver. Guy was amazing. And 49ers, I hope they know how lucky they are to have him, despite all the controversy earlier in the NFL season where he wouldn't sign that contract and holding out for more money and all that. I think they are going to forget about that real quick because he's donned that 49ers jersey, and they're lucky to have him. So anyway, yeah, this year um, we replaced quarterback Graham Harrell with Taylor Potts. Now, in the entire Mike Leach era, even though he's not the head coach anymore, there have always been great quarterbacks at Tech. Um, well, maybe not great, but we weren't, but good or great. So start back at Cliff Kingsbury, B.J. Simmons, Sonny Cumby, I guess you could say, Cody Hodges, and of course last year Graham Harrell, and this year Taylor Potts, and we saw a little bit of the future in Stephen Sheffield. Um, who basically took over the remaining minutes of the fourth quarter in the Alamo Bowl and was making some insane passes out there. And I think one or two of his passes out of maybe 12 or 13 he threw were off target. And one of those was a wide open player. That was just a goof by one of our wide receivers, but it was the same play, and we ended up getting the first down on that play. They ended up scoring a touchdown at the end. But one thing about Texas Tech quarterbacks, they know how to put yards up on the board. They know how to fill the stat sheets, and it was no different tonight. I mean, Taylor Potts, had a great game too. He had about, I think, close to 300 yards, maybe more than that. I don't know. Like I said, I was flipping back and forth between the Alamo Bowl and the Mavs game. So, um, but the bottom line is, I'm glad we got the win. And despite all the controversy going on right now, it's a really good win for my school. To kind of put things in perspective, how even though what happened with Adam James and Mike Leach, and whatever it was that happened, if he was locked in a room or something. The thing about the media, we're always given one side of the story. I always believe that no matter what, there are two sides to every story. We're never going to get the entire truth about it, but for whatever reason um, that happened, Mike Leach was fired. So, got to move on. But I'll tell you something. Ruffin McNeil impressed me tonight. I mean, he's a defensive coordinator. Tonight he was you could say he's 1-0 in head coaches in his head coaching career. And also, I think he's the first. If I this I might be wrong on this stat, but he may be the first head coach in college football history to get the Gatorade bath after his first win. This happened to be a bowl game though, so of course you're gonna get the Gatorade bath if you win a bowl game. So it makes sense. But it'd be great to see Ruffin McNeil as head coach next year. I think he's done a terrific job on the defensive end, or as the defensive coordinator. And so if we have him as our coach next year, and with Steven Sheffield as our quarterback next year, the way he played this year and today was just was amazing. And I think he can be the real deal, as most Tech quarterbacks are anyway. Some are better than others, but they know how to run that offense. They know how to put points on that board, and that's what Texas Tech is about. Scoring points. That's what we do. So, anyways, we'll see what happens with that. But again, proud of my Dallas Mavericks for winning. Proud of my Texas Tech Red Raiders for becoming the 2010 Alamo Bowl champions. Great way to close out the football season, and a great way to start 2010. So, Wreck 'em Tech and Mavs beat LA. See everybody later. Happy New Year.